So my name is Fred Gishuki. Fred is an entrepreneur with Neolife International. I got involved with Neolife, and my main focus, what I needed at the beginning, was to make money. And I needed money, and I wanted to fulfill my dreams. My dad was a head teacher. My mom was a teacher. So what happened is that they told me, go to school, study hard, get good grades, and you'll get a very good job with benefits, and you will live happily ever after. That's what we are all told. But shock on me when I finished college, that wasn't going to happen. I saw many of my friends get very good jobs. I don't know how comes, what happens when you actually finish college, because you find that the people that you are in school with, especially the ones who are not so serious about life, end up getting very good jobs. But for you who was a chop, somehow things don't work out very well. And that was me. So I found myself, instead of becoming a manager, I did many things: cook, waiter, receptionist, all that didn't have to do with management. And as life would have it, when I was working as a receptionist, a stranger came and offered me this opportunity. He told me, Fred, there's something you can do part-time, which can give you an extra income. I jumped in immediately. Now, when I got into the business, I found so many other benefits other than the money I was looking for. The first benefit I got was health. My parents were suffering from, my dad had ulcers, my mom had high blood pressure. They used the Neolife products, and we sorted out those issues. That was very, very exciting for me. That gave me a lot of confidence to go out and talk to people about these products. I also got the benefit of money. I remember my first check was $3, but I grew the business. The $3 changed to $300. It went on to over $1,000. And it's exciting. In fact, my highest check with Neolife was a check I was paid for $13,000, and that was very, very exciting. And Neolife, there's money. That one is for sure. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-sure scheme. Yeah. The other benefit I've gotten is travel. I've been able to travel quite a bit. I've been to America a couple of times. I've been to South Africa so many times. I've been to Mexico, Mauritius, so many places with Neolife. And when we travel, I travel with my wife because she's my partner in the business. So if you're here on this call and you have a dream of one day going for a paid vacation, fully paid for, with your spouse, second honeymoon or third honeymoon, then you are the right place at the right time with the right team of people. So another benefit I've gotten is that I've been able to touch so many people's lives. I have people in my team who are living exceptional lives because of Neolife. And I don't take that for granted, because this is an opportunity that it's not everybody who has such an opportunity to have a positive impact on people's lives. So if you're here and you're a guest, probably there's somebody waiting for you to just share what we have in Neolife, share what you're going to discuss today. And that person, based on the information you share with them, will end up actually becoming very, very successful in their life because of the knowledge that you just shared with them. Now, coming to the topic of today. Today, we are going to talk about smart farming. And when we talk about smart farming, we look at a few things. We look at the challenges that farmers are facing. And some of the challenges that farmers are facing include depleted soils, a lot of runoff, expensive agricultural outputs or inputs, pests and diseases, unpredictable seasons, and dry spells. I've had many farmers say that mvua ilikatika. So that becomes a bit of a challenge. It starts raining, then the season changes suddenly. Over-reliance on chemicals and herbicides, fungicides, which has a negative effect on the farmer health-wise, and even the production. Even with the use of fertilizers, the production has been declining year in, year out. Then lack of good education for farmers. They may not have the right education as per how they can be able to grow their crops and really excel in the art of farming and make money in farming. Now, our solution, what is our solution? Our solution in Neolife is a product that we call Super Gro. Now, Super Gro is an amazing product. We call it a wonder drop. It's a product that has transformed many homesteads. And it is a product that originated from Neolife. Neolife came as a result of our founder. You can see him on the screen. Our founder is called Jerry Brasfield. And Jerry had a challenge. He had asthma at a young age. He used the supplements from Neolife. They worked for him. He took it up as a business. And he got what we call the Scientific Advisory Board. These are a board of scientists that go behind the scenes and do the research on our products. They make sure the products are safe. They don't have a side effect. And what happens with the Scientific Advisory Board, a product like Super Gro, they assure us that it is actually natural, it is organic, it's made from only natural inputs, and it will not have any adverse effect on you or the environment at large. So the combination of Neolife and the Scientific Advisory Board has worked so well, and they've developed products that we have so many other products for different ranges, for different challenges that people go through, but you're going to look at that a little bit later. But let's look at our main topic of the day, which is Super Gro. What is Super Gro? Now, Super Gro, if you want the technological term behind it, we call it an adjuvant or a surfactant. And it's a multi-purpose agricultural adjuvant. It's supposed to work with modern crop treatments and applications. Some of the proven results from Super Gro is that it actually improves soil penetration and availability of water in the soil. It improves pesticide performance. It also helps in controlling some of the some pests like white flies and the like, which actually a farmer encounters during the process of farming. It also improves fungicide performance. It improves the crop yield. The key benefit about Super Gro is that it increases your yield by 167% above what you are getting before. And that is just amazing. It's an amazing, amazing thing. Recently, one of my distributors, who is also a farmer, used Super Gro on his shamba, a farm that he was yielding about 15 to 20 bags of potatoes. Same farm, same amount of seeds. He always plants 3 bags of seeds, and he was able to get 65 bags. So if you compare 65 bags with 20 bags of potatoes that he was getting before, that is more than 3 times what he was getting before. And he was so excited about it. So it's an amazing product. Now, if we look at how Super Gro works, is that Super Gro basically reduces the surface tension of water, and it makes water wetter. It has its own natural sticker. So you spray it on the foliage and you come all the way to the base of the crop. And it improves spreading properties of pesticides, thus improving their efficacy. And one of the things that it does is that it enables the crop to access the nutrients. If you spray it, if you put fertilizer and you spray Super Gro, then it breaks down the fertilizer so that the roots of the crop can be able to access the fertilizer. And how do you mix it? 20 ml for 20 liters is the basic mixing way, but you can do higher doses. For example, if you are faced with waterlogging, you can do 60 ml for 20 liters. If you're in a place where the soils have been tilled and they are very impoverished, you can even do 40 ml for 20 liters. If you have sandy soils, then you can do 40 ml or 60 ml for 20 liters of water. But the basic application is 20 ml for 20 liters. And remember, you don't spray more than once a week. That's a maximum you can do. Once a week is the maximum you can do. But once in 2 weeks works very, very well. So we can move on here and look at how does it exactly work. Now, Super Gro, one of the key things is that it optimizes soil penetration of water, reduces water runoff and evaporation. And if you look at the screen, you'll actually see the normal place where the roots of the crops actually reach. You find that with the Super Gro, it actually helps the roots of the crops to penetrate the hard pan. And when they penetrate the hard pan, the crop is able to grow faster. It's able to access nutrients in the soil, and you find that your production will be higher. And the hard pan has been a problem for many farmers, and a lot of good nutrients is stuck below the hard pan where the soil is concerned. And when you use Super Gro now, it breaks that hard pan and helps the crops, the roots of the crops, to access the nutrients in the soil. So what makes your crop grow well is actually the nutrients that God provided in the soil. That's what makes your crops grow well and improves on your the production. Yeah. And if you look at that screen, it talks about the other benefits. It's an adjuvant, it's an emulsifier, it's a spreader, it's a sticker. It is very good with wetting properties. Now, Super Gro is versatile, and you can mix it with any treatment where water is used. We talk about fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides. I had said earlier, it has sticker properties. It's a sticker by itself, which means you don't need to buy a sticker when you're using Super Gro. It's also an emulsifier. So moving on right there. Now, one may ask, what is a sticker and how does it work? Now, as a sticker, it improves better treatment, adhesion, and retention on plant surfaces. And it acts like a natural greenhouse for the plant. And that's why you find that when you use Super Gro, the leaves of the crop becomes dark green. It gets a very dark green color. As a penetrant, it enables applied fungicides and other applications to be more effective. Then it also improves protection of the crop for longer. Now, the best way, of course, to save water is to make an available water available for the plant, and that's what exactly Super Gro does. And one of the things that I always say is, when you spray, let's say it is dry, during the dry season, and there is no rain, and you want to use Super Gro, then you spray it in the evening. And what it will do is that it will harvest the dew for you so that your crops will continue producing food even when there is no rain. So you find that it harvests from the atmosphere. And people will be amazed when other crops, when other farms are dry and brown, then yours will be green and the crops will be looking very, very good. So it actually helps you to get an available water. It makes it available. Something else that it does is that when it rains, the water actually goes to the waterbed. So now when the sun comes and hits the surface, then the water is able to rise up and your crop continues photosynthesizing. So that becomes very, very exciting. So next, please. Okay, we've talked about that. It makes water wetter. It makes water available to the root system. It is actually sold as a concentrate, 1 ml to 1 liter of water, 5 liters of Super Gro to 5,000 liters of water. And it's a multi-purpose and can be used for all crops. Now, there's a research that was done by the University of Nairobi on Super Gro, and they wanted to confirm whether our claims about Super Gro were actually true. And what they found is that Super Gro is able to help in eradicating some of the problems that farmers are facing. We talk about angular spot, leaf spot disease, early blight, aphids, whiteflies, it was found that with Super Gro, when you use Super Gro, you're able to control some of these problems that face farmers. Now, they were able to use farm inputs, and they would combine that with Super Gro. And then in one case, they would do it without the Super Gro, and they saw the difference. Now, in the case of angular leaf spot, when they took fungicide with Super Gro, they found that they were able to eradicate it at a higher percentage than when they used fungicide plus probably a competitor's wetting agent and fungicide plus water. They found that in our case, our product actually performed at 41%, whereas the competitor's product was at 37%. And also just using fungicide and water, you only got 36% reduction in terms of angular leaf spot disease. Now, when they came to aphids and whiteflies, again, they did the same. They took pesticide and Super Gro, pesticide plus a competitor's wetting agent, and pesticide only. And they found that when you use Super Gro together with the pesticide, you had an almost 80% reduction in the aphids and whiteflies, whereas the competitors was at about 75%, and pesticides alone was actually at about 60%. So that tells you that there was a significant decrease in whiteflies and aphids when they used farm input plus Super Gro than using the pesticide with any other farm input out there. So that tells you that Super Gro is able to enhance the performance of farm inputs that whether they are pesticides or fungicides in the shamba. They went to tomatoes. They also worked with tomatoes. Now, this research was actually done over a period of 4 years, and they actually planted more than 8 times. So it was a very, very comprehensive research that was done. And again, the same thing was found when they used fungicide plus Super Gro. They found that the results were much better than when they used fungicide plus a competitor's wetting agent or sticker and fungicide only. Then when you look at that diagram on the left, you can see that actually the performance of Super Gro together with a fungicide was way, way better than anything else that was applied. Same case in terms of aphids and whiteflies. Again, they did the same thing. They took a pesticide and Super Gro, and they saw that the pesticide and Super Gro combination performed better in decreasing the whiteflies and increasing the aphids in the shamba. Moving on, the other thing that was tested upon by the Kenya government was, does Super Gro maximize the crop yields? And they actually, again, applied it, and this time they used it on French beans. They did the same test with the fungicide and water and fungicide and Super Gro, and they found that same thing again. You had a better result when you used fungicide and Super Gro than when you used anything else. That was on French beans and also for tomatoes. So the other experiment that they did was now in the case of, this just shows you red spider mite damage. And again, Super Gro was able to help reduce the amount of damage that was done by the red spider mite on the crops because it was able to control the amount of pests. Now, Super Gro has a very exciting ability because it actually cuts grease very well. And most insects have an oily layer of grease on their surface. And that actually enables the insect to breathe. So when you spray Super Gro and it gets in contact with the insect, then the insect is unable to breathe and it actually dies. Now, again, Super Gro was used on roses. And in this case, it was about reducing the spider mites. And again, they used an insecticide and Super Gro, and they found that it performed better than without. They also worked on the powdery mildew in this case. And again, the same thing happened. The performance of Super Gro and a fungicide did better than when you took the fungicide and combined with a competitor's wetting agent when you're spraying. So that just shows you the benefits of Super Gro and what it can actually do for you. Now, what is the difference? Why is Super Gro special? Number one, it's very economical. It maximizes crop yields and profits. It has a concentrated formula. It's 1 to 1,000, 1 ml to a liter of water. It is safe to use. It's easy to use and handle. It is non-toxic, non-caustic, non-flammable. Now, one of the things that we know is that there's a prevalence of diseases, especially lifestyle diseases, upcountry, especially things like cancer. Yesterday, I was in Meru, and they were sharing with me that cancer has become so rampant in the area. And it's basically because of the farm inputs, mainly because their main activity is farming, that they are using. And you find that in the case of Super Gro, because it's non-toxic, it's non-caustic, it's non-flammable, when you use Super Gro, then you are assured that you'll not be able to inhale those toxic chemicals from the products. It's also multi-purpose for both indoor and outdoor plants, and it also has a proven performance. So that is the Neolife difference. Now let's look at a few testimonies about Super Gro and what it has done, because people have been able to use it and they've gotten very good results with Super Gro. There you see a picture of a farmer with some bananas, and you can see the kind of bananas he has gotten, very healthy looking, big, and I mean, worth the effort. I mean, you don't want to go farming and then you're getting like a small banana over there. This is actually something that is quite awesome. And we have farmers who have actually gotten very good results as we move along there with Super Gro. And what I have found is that a farmer starts using Super Gro, and in fact, one of my leaders was telling me she has a group of farmers that she works with, and they do organic farming. And she told me that she tells them to look for the market before they actually start using Super Gro. Because like my case, the farmer who got 65 bags of potatoes, 5 of the bags got spoiled in the shamba because all her storage was packed, all the stores were packed. He didn't know what to do with the extra production. So you see, you have to really be ready for the production where Super Gro is concerned. Because if you're getting 2-3 times what you're getting before, then that means that you have to be well prepared as you're planting with Super Gro. There you can see the quality and size of guavas. Then we have moved on right there. You can see the coffee beans there. My dad had an experience with coffee, and he sprayed Super Gro, and it was so amazing. In fact, yesterday during the training that we had in Meru, there is a farmer that was telling us that he's struggling to support his coffee trees so that they don't break because of the weight of the berries on them after using Super Gro. So he has to prop them up to make them strong so that they don't break, because they have really given birth to a lot of berries on the stems. So that's the amazing thing. You find that you get double the harvest that you usually get. And I can tell you there's a farmer, again, in my team who used Super Gro, and she harvested about 50 bags. The neighbor has a bigger farm, so he used Super Gro. The neighbor didn't use Super Gro, but my farmer used Super Gro. She only harvested 50 bags, but the neighbor has a bigger farm, so he was able to plant in the normal way and harvest 100 bags. But now the interesting thing is that when they went to the factory, The 50 bags were actually heavier than the 100 bags. And you see, you are paid based on the weight of berries that you bring. So you can see who walked away with the money. And my thought was, imagine how much does it cost to produce 100 bags in a huge farm. It's definitely much more than it costs my farmer who only produced 50 bags. So Super Gro is amazing, and it actually does a wonderful job on the farm. Now, so there you have it. Just sharing briefly about Super Gro. I know you have questions, but the person who invited you will be able to handle those questions for you. Now, I want to bring up a gentleman that I truly respect. This is a gentleman who was very senior in the banking industry. He was at one point, he was an operations director for Barclays, that is ABSA. And he's one of our top leaders in Neolife. And he has a lot of experience in farming, having done it practically and doing it still practically, and also Super Gro. So without further ado, I want to bring up Elly. Elly, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Fred.
Fantastic. Please take it away.
Asante sana, Fred. Yeah, so my name is Elly. Elly is a family man. I'm married and God blessed us with 4 children. So my stories began in the year 2000 when I was retrenched from the bank. And when I was retrenched from the bank, it found that my madam had already become a member of Neolife. And that actually did not really interest me, because at the time when my madam was becoming a distributor, I was working, so I did not see the reason why Neolife would be a part of me. But at the very end of the year 2000, because we became in October, but on the very end, that is in December, I found myself being retrenched from the bank. And that is how we picked it up as a family. And from that 2000 to date, Neolife has been our provider. We grew into it. I remember the first check that we got into Neolife when we started, that was end of October 2000. The check was only $12. And that time I was still working. So I looked at the $12 and I said, well, that's a small thing. That's a very small check that you cannot claim you are doing a business and you are earning. But Madam was very, very happy with the check, because she had already lost her employment where she was working. But as we sat and started learning about the business in Neolife, that check really improved. That check improved to a point where this now became a source where we could pay our children's school fees from it, their university fee, and it even enabled us to send one of our daughters out of this country, courtesy of the Neolife. So when I talk about Neolife, it is something that I cherish. I'm passionate about it because of where it took us and what it has done to us. So I want to share with you this wonderful product called Super Gro. I'm very passionate about this product called Super Gro because, one, I'm one of the farmers that use this product. And I also share this product with the people that are around me. I've made good money on Super Gro. At one point, and I keep on sharing this with the people, I made 97,000 shillings on one day in one single hour using Super Gro. 97,000 shillings from one customer. So it is a product that I've made money with, and it is a product that I've shown people, the people that are around me, how they can make money with it. That also I will share with you. And I've also made an intro into farmers' life using Super Gro. One, farmers are very sensitive people. A farmer will always be very skeptical about a new product when you try to introduce to them. At times you will try to introduce that to a farmer and a farmer will tell you, no, I've never heard about this product and I cannot venture into it. It is going to spoil my crop. Why a farmer is so adamant like that is because a farmer will look at the input that he has put on his farm, what exactly he has done with the input that he has needed, how much he has spent. So when you take something to him which he has not seen, he will always resist. But I always advise my fellow distributor, don't give up on a farmer. You can go to a farmer many times just for him to open up for you. But the most basic thing for a farmer is that if a farmer can see something practically that you have applied and he can see practically that this is as a result of what you are trying to sell, a farmer will give in very easily. So that is something that our distributors should take, that have somewhere where you can, so that this is where it has been used, this is where it has been applied, so get it. Another challenge with farmers is that they will always ask you, how will I be getting this product? As you are your farmer, how you are going to be close to them, how you are going to make available this product be available to them, and they will open up for you. Because in most agrovet will go to them and agrovet don't have it. They don't stock it. So a farmer will go and ask the agrovet about Super Gro, and the agrovet person will tell the person, I've never heard of such a product. That also will discourage the farmer. So always at the point of talking to a farmer, always instill that confidence in the farmer that this product is not available with the agrovet people unless the agrovet is a member. So the best that he can get, you assure him that I will be there for you and I will be able to put it. Another important thing is about installing this product. Many of us just sell a tin like this and he gives it out. So a farmer does not even know how do I use this kind of product? Because I've never seen it, I've never used it. So to my fellow distributors, I would really urge you, when you sell a Super Gro to a farmer for the first time, be there, install the product, demonstrate it to a point that a customer has really understood it, and make a follow-up. Follow the customer to see, is he using it in the proper way that I quite did it to them. And if that happens, and a customer buys into you, that's a customer that you are going to keep for long. Other challenges that we have is that some farmers will tell you that I've heard from so and so that he used this product and it really burnt his crops. It's never worked for them. Insist on that farmer to show you this person, or how did this person apply the product? Because some of them don't. Some of them will talk even if they have never used it, because they have something to say. So the moment you convince a farmer in that manner, a farmer will always be there for you. The mixing ratio, as Fred has talked about it, 1:1, that is the standard ratio. Don't exaggerate it. Just let the customer know it is 1:1. If you have a jerry can of 20 liters, just put 20 ml, 20 liters of water. Shake it, and after shaking it, it becomes a product that you can just pour into your sprayer, and on you go. So I will now share with you some of the situations that I found myself in using this wonderful product. I've got a customer that started using. I introduced him to. I introduced them. They are both. One is a lady and another one is a man. I introduced them at an air irrigation scheme. I introduced them in 2007. To date, they're still using this product, Super Gro, and they cannot afford to plant without Super Gro. Why? Because of the kind of yield. This is the way the Fred has talked about it. The kind of yield that they found when they apply the Super Gro. When you apply Super Gro, like before I introduced them to in the farms that they, because those ones are put in sections. So that particular section, the lady tells me he only used to have 7 bags of rice out of that particular thing. And that one you would think that he really had harvested good amount of rice. But when I introduced Super Gro to them, right from the time from the nursery to the planting to the transplanting all the way, she ended up with 35 bags of rice. That is just about 167% that Fred talked about. And they were very happy with the kind of quality rice that is coming out of application of Super Gro. The same with a maize farmer. A maize farmer, I have maize farmers, and even me, I'm one. Every time you apply Super Gro on the maize, you can start it from the time that you have planted it. You can soak the leaves, you can soak the seed overnight. Make sure that they don't exceed the 12 hours. Because once they see the 12 hours, they will have sucked enough moisture such that if you're doing the dry planting, they can germinate. So you soak them below the 12 hours. So next day, just go do the planting. If that is done, you'll always find that the maize in the soil, even if it has not rained, the fossils, the insects will not invade this seed. When it rains, this seed will germinate. So once it has germinated and it has 3-4 leaves, do the first spray. And that spray, while you are doing the first spray, even before you start weeding, what it will do is that it is really going to enhance the chlorophyll factor. It is going to start developing the green coloring matter on the leaves of this maize plant. And the greener the leaves of the plant, the more photosynthesis takes place and the more food the plant manufactures. So the plant will start manufacturing enough good enough food for it to germinate and grow. And the growth will be very fast, such that when you have done your weeding, do the second spray. Even before you do the second weeding, because as you do the second weeding, when you're doing the top dressing, that is also another critical time for you to spray. And there, even if you leave, you are sure that the maize that are going to be there are going to be 3-4 in cobs in one stalk. So that one also will really enhance. The best is the fruits. I've got farmers who are really on farming of mangoes, farming of oranges, avocados, and Super Gro really does wonders for them, because at the time of you can start spraying when they are young, but at the time when they are flowering, if these are matured fruit that are now giving you fruit for sale, the time when they are flowering, that is the most critical time for you to do the spray. And you mix with some of the agricultural input that really enhance the fruiting of the fruit. So once you mix it, it also acts as a sticker. So even if the bees invade the flowers, they're not going to fall. They're all going to turn into fruits. And you'll find that the fruits will be so many, just like what Fred is saying, that the farmer will be worried because the stalk or the branches will be falling. You'll have to support them. That is just as a result of Super Gro being sprayed. Another thing that it does, that Super Gro will do to the fruit, is that it will really enhance their appearance. They will look very healthy. After looking very healthy, another thing they will do is that they will grow bigger into sizes, and they will be very sweet with Super Gro sprayed on them. The fruits will be very sweet fruits. So a farmer is likely to sell those fruits very nicely. Another one that also Super Gro works so well are the tomato. Tomato farming, Super Gro does so well. And I will only mention one thing, that the farmers that I serve Super Gro with, who are farming tomato, what they tell me is that the tomato farming, at the point of flowering, once you apply the Super Gro and they turn into fruits, they mature very fast. And what they like of this is that the lifespan of the fruits of the tomatoes that have been applied Super Gro, even when they are harvested and taken to the market, they look appealing and they don't rot very fast. Even if they ripe, they will ripe, but they are not going to start turning into what become watery. Super Gro will retain that. So Super Gro is very good for the farmers that are doing the farming of tomatoes. Napier grass. I've got farmers who are also farming Napier grass. They're keeping kettles. So they are worried at the rate at which Napier grass grow. But with Super Gro, always spray in the evening, such that when the dews form, you'll find that the Napier grass will grow very fast. They will grow very fast, they mature very fast, and the farmer will always not run out of the Napier grass. He will always be keeping. Another area that I've had problem with farmers, a farmer tells you, some section of my farm are in a swampy place, such that when it rains, they make the plants that are around there to turn yellowish. And it is because any waterlogged surface will always make the plant to turn yellow. And once the plant has turned yellow, a farmer knows in his own right that he's losing. The kind of yield that is going to come out of that is not going to be what the farmer is expecting. The farmer is expecting to maximize on the yield, but a yellow coloring is already surfacing the way the chlorophyll factor will act on the plant. But when you apply the Super Gro will always turn the yellow color to return into being green. And also the penetration of this surface that Fred talked about, the hard pan, that water which is up, when you apply Super Gro on them, they will all penetrate and go deeper into the fruits of the plant, such that the plant will have a lot of nutrients out of that. So people who are challenged where we have a swampy places, just apply Super Gro. It will help you to control the level of water that will remain on the surface, but most of it will go down into the plant root. So those are some of the things that I would want to share with you. But I also want to share with the fellow distributors, because you are in business and you are in business to make money. How do we make money? I've taught many people, and I've also used this method to make a lot of money. One of the things that I sell, I introduce customers using the small bottle. This is a bottle of 60 ml, 50 ml, 60 ml. And this is also a bottle of 250 ml. So I always turn the 50 ml with 5,000, with 5 liters. It will give me 5,000 ml. So if I bottle them into 50 ml, I will always have 100 of this bottle. So 100 of this bottle, when I sell between 150 or 200 or 300, because I've got some distributor somewhere who sells them at 300, but I will take average of 200. So if they are 200 and you are selling at 200, that gives you 20,000 shillings from your 5 liter. And remember, you have only bought your 5 liter at 6,150. And these bottles, 10 of them goes for 70 bob. So if they are 100, that will mean about 700. So you will be left with a clean profit of 13,150. So if you are good in selling and moving the Super Gro, because the area can be large for you. If you move only 5 tins in a month of Super Gro, you're already earning in terms of profit 65,750. But if you sell 10, like I used to have another distributor in Mugori that used to move 10 of them in 1 month, he would earn on retail profit 131,500 shillings on Super Gro, selling them in small bit. And he would have customer all over. So this is what I'm telling you. You can make money on this. The same with 250 ml. You can sell it between 800 to 1,000, and you also end up with the same amount of money. So that is how we make money. And once you introduce what I would want to give our distributors, once you have installed a customer with a proper usage of Super Gro, you will see the economical part of it. You will realize how much he has improved on his yield, how much he has improved on his earning. The way Fred has said that when you are applying Super Gro, the moment you start with Super Gro on your farm, first go out there and start looking for the market, because there are times when you will not be able to sustain it. The market will not be able to sustain what you are going to harvest. So you start looking for areas where you are going to sell your product to, because of the increase in yield, or in the result of what you are going to earn. So as distributors, let us make money, and especially the upcountry people and the new people. Introduce them to this small one, because this small one, a jerry can of, if you have put 60 ml, a jerry can of 20 liters, this small one will give you 3 of those jerry can, 20 liters of them each. And that can spray a bigger area, an area whereby if you just leave a farmer will realize, surely, if this small one can spray this big section of the farm, how about if I now take the 1 liter? So you will find you are graduating your customer from this small one to 1 liter to 5 liter out of what you have done. So don't discourage them by starting them with the bigger one, the 5 liter. No, the ones who have never used our Super Gro, introduce them with small ones, and the result is what is going to urge them to get what you are looking for. So for distributor, I will only encourage you, make money. Super Gro has a lot of money, both in our bonuses, because it has 60 points. So that is very bad. So Fred, take it back. Thank you very much.
Wow. I'm so excited, I think I've never had Super Gro explained in that kind of format, like what Elly has done. And if we were in a physical meeting, we would clap for him until our hands pained. But that was amazing, Elly. That was so amazing, guys. I know even the ones who are not farmers out there feel like starting to farm immediately. But it's amazing. It's amazing what Super Gro can do. For the guests who are here, I want to tell you, welcome to Neolife. In Neolife, we make things happen. We change people's lives. If you're here and you're thinking of farming, or you're a farmer, let me tell you, you cannot do it without Super Gro. And as we wrap up this particular session, I would urge the guests to become members of Neolife, because when you become a member of Neolife, then you're able to benefit, like what Elly said. That calculation works for you very well when you're a distributor, because you're able to buy the product at wholesale price, at cost price from Neolife. And you can now break the bulk and, as a distributor, now sell it at the price and make that kind of crazy profit that you're talking about. And that's it. If you decide you don't want to become a distributor, fantastic. Then talk to the person who invited you. They will sell you Super Gro, but of course they'll sell it to you at retail price, and they'll be able to make the good profit that they are supposed to make, that they are allowed by the company to do. So guys, we've had it. I cannot add anything else. Today we've had a fantastic session on Super Gro. We have learned a lot. Thanks, Elly, for that session. You shared from the heart. And as you can see, he has actually shared what he's doing and what he has done with his farmers and the results that I've gotten from Super Gro. So as we wind up this session, tomorrow, or even today, you can actually register today if you're here and you're a distributor, and it only costs you 7,620 to get started to become a distributor, and you're in business and you're able to access Super Gro at wholesale price. And like I said, I shared earlier about that farmer that actually used Super Gro on his potatoes, and he got 65 bags. And previously he was getting only 15 bags. And this guy, I didn't know him. He called me on the phone. I've never seen him in my life. But I told him, why should I sell you Super Gro, whereas you can join and make money from Super Gro? And he actually sent me money for registering and for the Super Gro, and he became a distributor there and then. To date, I've never seen him, but he's making money. The other day he asked for 2 jerrycans. He's making money. He's introducing his brothers, the people in the area. People are they're so amazed that even when there's no enough rainfall, the gentleman is still harvesting, whereas they are struggling. So that is it on our side. Get into Neolife, start living a new life and start enjoying life. And not to mention that once you make the money, you also get to travel. I've been able to travel to so many countries because I've sold Super Gro. Can you imagine? You sell Super Gro, you make crazy profit, you use it in your farm, you make crazy profit, you make good bonuses, then you get to travel and go abroad with your spouse. So it's an amazing opportunity, and you cannot afford to be out there looking in as a guest. You need to get in, get started. When we finish this call, ask the person who invited you, where is that link for registering? I want to register now. And I promise you, your health will be better, live a better quality of life, get to enjoy the money that you have made, the investments you have made, because when you're healthy, you're able to enjoy the money that you have made. Because in your life, we have food supplements. We have so many things. We have food supplements. We have skincare products. We have quality organic soaps that actually make life so easy and that do not mess up the environment. So we have so many things in your life that are there for you, but you get that. The best way to get it is by becoming a distributor and starting to buy for yourself and get to learn from the leaders that you have. Otherwise, it was great having you guys on board. Have a blessed Saturday evening. God bless you. See you on Sunday again when we'll have a different topic, different speaker, but I can assure you the topic of the day will be an exciting one. You cannot afford to miss it. See you next Sunday. Thank you and God bless.